luck with that. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center to Spokane. For those of you that are here in person, those of you online, those of you that are in Bloomsday, it's Bloomsday Sunday, and it's also Cinco de Mayo. So we have a lot to be thankful for today in our lives, don't we? As our mission states, we are a vibrant community growing through spiritual practices and love. I love that word vibrant. I think that's very important. I know the word love is important, but I think vibrant is just as important. I'm Jeff Hunter. I'll be your platform assistant this morning, so please take a moment to silence your cell phones. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. As always, we want to begin our time together today by sharing our opening affirmation. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundation principle. One presence, one power, one life living through and as each one of us. Today we will hear from Reverend Bonnie as she shares with us the teachings of Catherine Ponder. Our music today is provided by Scott and Judy Jameson. Our chaplain, Steve, will provide us with a reading and open us with a prayer. But first, Rick, our song leader, will start us off with a community song. Is this a new one for the month?
It is a new month.
All right.
Stand if you're able. It is a new month, so we have a new.
Good morning. The reading is taken from Open Your Mind to Prosperity by Catherine Ponder, published in 1971. To practice consistently the love concept is one of the quickest ways to overcome all your difficulties and demonstrate your spiritual heritage of unlimited good. Since the word concept means something conceived in mind, the way to practice the love concept is to become filled with the idea of love inwardly and then express it inwardly and outwardly. This releases a high-powered energy that is instantly felt and responded to by people and situations. In your own life, you may go through periods when truth principles don't seem to work for you sufficiently. If so, it may be that you need to use them more loving. The mind's eternal duty is to express in love. This is the greatest lesson that the mind has to learn, the lesson of love. Mind power can be unbalanced when it is not used loving. Practicing the love concept can do more to help you achieve your goals than all the hard mental effort in the world. If you get too tense about what you want out of life and try to force it into manifestation, mentally you can actually repel the very good you are trying to manifest. Use the love concept magnetically, drawing your good to you in countless ways. This method takes the strain out of demonstrating your good. You can begin invoking the love concept by meditating often upon the biblical statement, God is love. Dwelling on this statement keeps you from becoming too cold or unloving. It can also cause a marvelous transformation to take place in you and your world. The love concept releases a certain kind of vibration that people appreciate and respond to. Dwelling on the love concept makes you a magnet for your good. Now let us pray. Leaning into our seats, closing our eyes, we allow our bodies to rest, to be held, to relax. Let's together take a big breath to remind our bodies that we are relaxing. From this place of being, I speak my word on behalf of all of us, that the presence of the infinite good is right here, right now. It originates from within each one of us and emanates within to without. As I become aware of the divine presence within and trust it, it is natural that I trust the divine presence I see within others, as I know this presence is our shared oneness. It is the field the Bible calls heaven, the undifferentiated good. Today I trust this and allow it to be my guidance. From this place of wholeness, I bless this service. I bless each and every one of us in this room. I bless Reverend Bonnie today as she delivers the message of truth. I bless Scott and Judy as they play music that uplifts us. I bless the platform assistant, the ushers, all staff and volunteers who practice the love concept as a way of service. I bless the children and the volunteers in the Family Services Program. I bless the online community, grateful for their presence. Lastly, I bless everyone on our prayer list, knowing the divine presence is expressing itself through each and every request. Love is here today, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Judy, and thank you, Scott. That was so lovely. Really appreciate that. And Rick, oh my gosh, you were having so much fun up here. It was so much fun to watch you with a congregational song. That was so delightful. And when we were singing the words, feel the fear and do it anyway, I wanted to change all of the words with every stance. I wanted to say, feel the presence of God and do it anyway. Feel infinite love and do it anyway. Feel scared and small and do it anyway. So I was having a party in my head this morning. So I welcome you to the party, whether you're here in the room or online. We appreciate you being here so very much, for we know that when each one of us connects to the divine source of our being and lives from that place on the planet, we live in a different planet. So I want to thank all of you for being willing to be that person. So thank you so much for being here. Today I'm going to talk about the teachings of Catherine Ponder. I almost clustered last week and this week to call it going retro, because we're looking at some of the original voices in the area of prosperity and abundance. So today ends the Abundance series and begins, so today is like a crossover. It ends the abundance and begins the feminine month, the month of the feminine, because next Sunday is Mother's Day. So we're doing Catherine Ponder today, Mother's Day next week, and then we're going to have Reverend Dennis come because I'm swapping pulpits with him. And then we're closing out the month with Rhonda Britton, a dear friend of mine who wrote the book Fearless Living. And so the song Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Scott chose in honor of her body of work. So we're going to have a robust month that features the feminine in action. So are Lily and Mary here this morning? Can you guys stand? Are you here? Do I see you? I just wanted to give a shout out to Lily and Mary for all of the food they brought last week and the love that they put into it. And I wanted to honor any of you who've brought food in 2024 for us to enjoy afterward. If you have done so, could you stand up so we could thank you? What we've discovered is that people stay around and have communion when food's involved. So if you haven't yet had the privilege of bringing food and you'd like to, please see Deanna or Shirley. And so we will continue this entire month to do our Unexpected Prosperity. There's still more books out in the breezeway there. If you are interested in beginning this game with us, you still have plenty of time to play. And what we're doing is we're tracking all unexpected monies and values that come into our life, and then we're tithing 10% on it. So this week, Murphy bought me a cup. $15, so how much do I owe with a tithe? Okay, and then I figured I took $5 worth of potatoes last week. So how much is that? All right, so here's my $2. And I'm going to put my name on the envelope so that Sarah can track it. And then this will go today in with my offering. So what is so lovely about this is that we get the opportunity to see how we're given to all the time and how fully and completely supported we are by God and by the universe. So, Catherine Ponder was a unity minister back in Birmingham, Alabama, and right during the recession of World War II, her congregation came up to her and said, "Would you please study the Bible and learn how to do prosperity so you could teach us? We know that the Bible has the answers to everything, and we want to learn how to be prosperous. It doesn't feel good to be in this situation that we're in." And at that time in Alabama, the majority of the community was receiving government assistance because there just wasn't jobs and it was really rough. So she said yes, she would dive in, and from that body of work, she ended up producing 12 books that are absolutely phenomenal. And 3 of them we have in our library right now: Dare to Prosper, The Dynamic Laws of Prayer, and The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. All 3 of those are available there. When Catherine Ponder dove in, what she found out was that there were a whole slew of Hebrew leaders in the Old Testament who were millionaires, and she wrote books about each one of them. So she has the prosperity laws of, or the story of Isaac or Joseph or Moses, and so you can find the individual books with their individual stories in it. But what she discovered was that Abraham was a millionaire and he got his wealth through cattle, silver, and gold. Isaac was rich in owning water wells. Jacob, Joseph, and Moses were also millionaires. And of course, it's been said that Jesus was the richest human being who ever walked this planet. He had everything he needed and more. So the Bible is considered by Catherine Ponder to be the greatest text of prosperity. She says bread metaphysically means substance. So anytime you're reading about bread in the Bible, you're reading about the substance of the universe, including money. The fish symbolizes increase. Gold appears in the Bible 400 times, and there are 3,000 to 4,000 promises in the Bible to make you prosperous. And many of Jesus' parables were prosperity parables. So the first, so I skipped ahead, sorry about that. The prosperity secret of all the ages is that God is your source, that God is the source of your supply. So say after me, God is the source of my supply. God is the source of my supply. And this time, close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and feel it when we say it. God is the source of my supply. Again, God is the source of my supply. And so Catherine Ponder gives us a formula of 3 different steps to take in order to increase our supply, and it all comes through the Bible and the biblical teachings. So her first step, she says, is that we need to purify or to cleanse. And she went on to say, which each one of us in this room would agree, is that life is a purification process, right? We're doing it all of the time. So she says you must get rid of that which no longer serves you in order to make a new way for you. What I love so much about her books, and I have read every one of them multiple times, and they were such a big part of my early spiritual growth and development. There was such a foundation to stand on, and in every one of her books she gave examples, one after the next, of how lives were changed by doing what she taught. So she says, first of all, get rid of what no longer serves you. Declutter your home. Declutter your office. Declutter your car. Declutter your wallet. Declutter your purse. Declutter your drawers. Let go of worn out things. Let go out of worn out conditions. Let go of worn out relationships. Make physical space. Make physical room. And she has this story about how she was cleaning out her closets, and she had this beautiful velvet dress that she had paid a lot of money for, and she didn't want to get rid of it because it was so expensive. And I bet none of us have ever had that experience. And so she fought with her internal self about, this no longer serves me. It will serve someone else. It will look beautiful on someone else. I'm complete with it, but boy, it was expensive. I just can't let it go. And so she said she finally got up the ability to release it, and she released it. And the next day, a neighbor knocked on her door with 2 velvet dresses from her closet that were of more financial value and beautiful and fit her and were new to her. And she said, so the deal is we never know what will come when we let go of that which is no longer ours, because the universe loves to give to us. But if we're hoarding, it's hard to bring it in. So she says to clean out your mind then, you need to have an elimination list, And at the bottom of your elimination list, write on it, I let go and I trust. And so she has an elimination prayer, a releasing prayer, and it goes like this. So close your eyes and I'll read it to you. Christ in me is my releasing power. Christ in me is my freeing power. Christ in me now frees me from all resentment or attachment toward or from people, places, or things of the past or the present. I now release everything and everybody of the past or present that are no longer a part of the divine plan for my life. Christ in me manifests my true place with the true people and my true prosperity now. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. And the abundance team says a prayer by Tosha Silver whenever they gather, and in it it says, let whatever needs to go, go, and let whatever needs to come, come. And that's what this is. When it's old, and it's time to pass it on so it could be someone else's new. So Catherine Ponder goes on to say that as you're cleaning your mind, one of the best tools for cleaning your mind is forgiveness. And I had the privilege in the year 2000 to lead a book club at the East West Bookstore in Seattle, Washington, and it was a prosperity book club. And every month we read and we studied a different prosperity book. At the end of that time, I put together an Excel spreadsheet that had what the common themes were in all of the books. And the two most common themes of all of the prosperity books, the spiritual prosperity books, were two things. One is forgiveness and the other is tithing. And so I had little check marks and I had the grid, and we were able to sit after we did all 12 books and be able to do a comparison of them. So I would say that that forgiveness is the Drano of mental cleansing. And I was thinking this week that just as I brush my teeth in the morning and at night and multiple times through the day, I still go get my teeth deep cleaned every 6 months. And those of you who studied with Edwene Gaines, she would tell you that once a year she would set aside a day where she would spend the entire day going through a forgiveness practice for anything that felt icky in her body temple. So Reverend Michael says that, Reverend Michael Beckwith, I should use his last name, he says that all forgiveness is self-forgiveness. Because what we're doing is when we think of someone or see someone in our mind, we feel how that feels in our body temple. And if it doesn't feel neutral or good, that means that that is a person you'll want to put onto your forgiveness list, so that as you do the work, you're cleansing your own internal self. It doesn't have anything to do with that person. So I had a girlfriend who I met down in Arizona, and when we met, we became instant buddies. And that's only happened a handful of times in my life, and she was one of the handful. And we became very, very, very close. And she's a highly spiritual woman. She's a spiritual teacher, and she does intuitive work and teaching intuitive classes down in Arizona. And I was on Facebook, and I saw that she had just bought a new house and had thrown a party at her new house. And I was so excited for her that I called her on, I think it was Thursday night, to congratulate her, and she was just in the flow. And I could feel the flow that she was in. And I said, "Oh my God, Tammy, your flow feels so good." And she said, "My flow feels amazing, Bonnie." And she told me that she took crystals, like that we have on our altar, and she had them ground up and put in the paint, and they're painted on the insides of her walls, which is so Tammy. But I just thought, I just want to sit with you in your space. It's so incredibly beautiful. And I was feeling outside of the flow, and so I could see it in her and have a remembrance of what it felt in the flow. And so I said to Tammy, I'm going to meet you in the flow, I promise. I'm going to, tomorrow, which was Friday, tomorrow I'm going to get to work. I'm going to do my yearly forgiveness practice, and I'm going to meet you in the flow. And so we were both all jazzed about it. So Friday I found myself sitting and doing forgiveness work. I did it for 4 hours, not the full day. I still have another chunk left to go. What I am reminded of, many of you know that I wrote a book on forgiveness, in 2004, I think, and I did a forgiveness tour, traveling the country, teaching people how to forgive. And I've learned a lot since writing it, since doing that process, and then now since living it for so long. And one of the things I learned when I was researching my work at that time in 2004 was that the Buddhists say that every one of us will be offended 10,000 times in our life, and that we will offend others 10,000 times in our life. So forgiveness becomes like a cleansing process of the let go, so we're not walking around with the energy on either side of that split. So Friday I sat and I forgave, and I forgave, and I forgave, and I forgave, and by about 2 p.m, I had this incredible feeling of being in the flow where Tammy has been for a while, and it was such an incredible gift. Reverend Michael Beckwith says, we live in a returned to sender universe. So who we are in the world comes back to us, and so that is so valuable and important. So let's close our eyes, and I'm going to walk us through the process that I did, and we're just going to do one real short experience. And what I found by the end of each one of the forgiveness episodes that I went through is that after each one, I then started blessing the individual, and I started oming. So we're going to do just one go through with one person, and it's just for practice and to open to this beautiful field of energy. So please close your eyes. Feel your feet on the ground. And I'd like you to go with the very first idea of the person that pops up in your mind and see them in your mind's eye, as though they're sitting right in front of you. And in your mind, I want you to say to that person, what you did or didn't do cannot impact my destiny. Nor does your behavior determine my destiny. I'm not a victim to your act of omission or commission. I cut the cords between us. And this I had so much fun doing. I just imagined that the energetic, emotional cords were severed. And this is, the presence of God is so powerful that what is to be ours will always be ours. So this is just a cleansing process like we do with brushing our teeth, is we let everyone go, and those are who are supposed to stay will. So we just cut the cords that are between us, and those are evidence of the past. We're cutting the past and letting the past go. And we're taking our energy back, and we're giving the other person their energy back. And then say in your mind, I cut the cord between us, and I set both of us free. Free to live our unique destinies. And say to yourself, I have a good destiny. I wish you well. I wish you success. I wish you prosperity. I wish myself well. I wish myself success. And I wish for myself prosperity. And now together let's Om. And just take a moment to sit with how good it feels. Beautiful. All right, and Catherine Ponder has a forgiveness prayer, so let's say this together. All that has offended me, I forgive. With and without, I forgive. Past things, things present, things future, I forgive. I forgive everything and everybody who could possibly need forgiveness in my past and in my present. I forgive positively everyone. I am free, and all others are free too. All things are cleared up between us now and forever. Beautiful. So step 1 is the cleansing. Step 2 is the illumination. And so to be illuminated, she asks you to ask these 3 questions of yourself. And what she recommends is you do this at the same time every day, whether it is in the morning or at night. And it is question number 1, what do you want to eliminate from your life? Question number 2, what you want to bring into your life? And question number 3, what are you thankful for? And the last 2, number 2 and 3, we did during our Miracle Month last year, because that's also a conduit to experience miracles, is to practice the asking for what you desire and being grateful for what you have. So she adds the 3rd step to this is, what do I want to have eliminated from my life? And usually it's low-level vibrating energy like resentment or stuckness or unclarity. So whatever it is that you would like to have eliminated from your life, you put that on your list. And then she asks us to ask ourselves, is anything on this list illegal? Will anything on this list hurt me? Are these desires emotionally right for me? And one of the things I used to teach clients all the time was to try ideas on. If you have an idea, actually try it on like you're putting on a coat and feel what the idea feels like to you. If the idea feels light and freeing and high and joyous, then that idea may be where you want to go. If you put the idea on and it feels heavy, it's a really good indication that that probably is not for you. So she asks the question, what am I willing to lose in order to gain? And she says that Emerson says, for everything you gain, you lose something. So in other words, as we are going through change, there's a let go and there's an acceptance. It's this beautiful cycle of the release and the receive and the release and the receive. And so she's saying, just, know that as you're asking for the new, you're going to be required to let go of the old. Everything in life requires an enunciation of the old. For you and I know we live in the present now moment, which doesn't hold on to the past and it does not hold on to the future. So as I mentioned before, all of the teachers, including Catherine Ponder, spoke of tithing. And she says that financially we have one basic problem, and that is congestion, and that we have one basic solution, and that is circulation. And so she says we circle 10%. It used to be in the Bible that the tithes went to the priest and the place of worship. And then if there was a secondary desire for that monies to go elsewhere, like to a charity, that comes second. So it goes to where you're spiritually fed first, and then the second aspect, if you want to give more, then feel free to give all you want to charity, for what we give, we receive. Our third request, or our third step, is union with God and God's good. And she has a divine restoration. So she said, as she's worked with a whole bunch of people around finances, that there are many people that talk about loss, what they've lost in the past, and how money hasn't worked for them in the past, and how their feelings have been hurt in the past. And so she says that there's a spiritual practice and process of divine restoration. And so what we come to learn as we spiritually mature is that nothing can block our good. And we also learn that in the big picture of everything, nothing is lost, because everything will be restored. So repeat this with me, please. This is our prayer for divine restoration. There is no loss in spirit. I cannot lose my good. And when it seems I've lost my good, it's because my good has changed form. I cannot lose my good. I may have outgrown certain phases of it. I welcome my new good, and my new good is divinely restored. And we close with this idea that Steve read about today, which was the love concept. And that is that it's necessary that as we do our mental work, that our heart is engaged. And if we find we're doing mental work without results, the question becomes, is our heart energy in coherence? Is there harmonious resonance between our mind and our heart? And last week, Tuesday, with the abundance team, there was a very rich and lively conversation around Reverend Ike's 10 commandments of money. And so I'm hoping that if this area of your spiritual life is of interest to you, that you consider attending the abundance team conversations and spiritual practices. There's one this Wednesday night. What time is it, Gay? 6:30. At 6:30 here to 8 o'clock, and then the following Tuesday morning, it's there again, and it's a drop-in basis, so just feel welcomed to come and to drop in. And there's just an amazing, rich conversation about who you are as the presence of God here on planet Earth, to bring forth your gifts and your talents for the benefit of humanity, and what is in your mind that's getting in the way of that, and how that can be lifted so that that love of God can just be what everyone comes into contact with when they see you. So again, we'll be collecting the purple envelopes till the end of the month. I have thoroughly enjoyed covering and talking about abundance in the last series. And now, as we move forward, I'll look forward to continuing the purple envelope and then talking about the feminine aspects of God. So let's close our eyes together. And I think of the cute kids 2 Easters ago who started a rock band to sing "Let There Be Peace on Earth" for us. I don't know if you guys remember that, and they named themselves the Love Community. And when I think of the love concept, I think of the love community. The idea that these beautiful children who come here look at us and to us for this divine emanation of love that we are. So So let's just rest our attention onto our heart for a few minutes of silence. Aware of our heart and aware of our breath. With your attention on your heart, intend to have the energy from your heart be large enough that it touches the neighbor you're sitting next to. And those of you online, intend that your heart is so open that it touches me right here, right now. And now let's have our heart wide enough that it touches every single person in this room. And let's intend that our heart entrains and connects and uplifts and merges and plays with those hearts that are watching online right here and right now. For love power is infinite, absolutely unlimited, infinite. We cannot outlove God, and we can be a conduit for God to love through us. And so right here and right now, I speak my word for anyone who has their name on our prayer list here at Unity Spiritual Center of Spokane. I speak my word that with our open hearts, we're in agreement that God the good is right where you are at. Lifting and restoring and mending and loving and providing peace and joy, and that the wealthy, the rich, the abundant life of God is right where you are. I give thanks that any need, any ask, any desire on our heart is fulfilled by the only thing that is, which is the divine nature of our being, God itself. And so I bless each one of us. I invite us to pull our energy, our heart back into our body temple, to ground it down onto earth and to open it up into sky, and just to know that as we move forward into our day, we move forward from that place of gratitude and fulfillment, from the place of God's good and the overflow. And I celebrate and give thanks that each and every one of us is in the knowing of who and what we are. And for this, together we say, and so it is. Amen. I tell you, I want to see them doing the Partridge Family in their garage. Telling you, they start playing together and I just see the whole family. Scott's daughter and Judy's daughter has sung for us, and so we know that they're a musical family and we are blessed for it. So it's time to give. It's our time for giving. And there are purple envelopes around you if you're involved in doing the Unexpected Prosperity along with us. And for those who give regularly and your gift comes out of your bank account, we've got cards that you can place upon your heart, or you could see it in your mind's eye and place it on your heart. And those of you online, there on the slide are many different ways that you can give, including directly on our website. And of course, I love it when you mail checks in and send me letters, because then I get to read them and it brings me massive joy. So together, let's place our giving on our heart and let's say our giving prayer. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Anyone who'd like to bless the money with me, please come on up. And I just want to give a shout out to any and all of the people who are part of our community who are running today in Bloomsday. I know Amber's out there. I don't know if she's running or volunteering, but what an amazing day to be out making the moves, right? For those of you online, it's raining here today, so we bless those who are running. All right. And so those of you online, please join us, as well as those of you here. Extend out our hands to the giving. And I just want to give thanks that the presence of God is always generous and plentiful. I bless this money, and I know that it multiplies. I know it finds its friends, and I know it finds their cousins, and I know it finds their relatives. And I just know that this money that we receive is blessed money, and that this blessed money multiplies. I give thanks that all of the needs that we have at the center are fulfilled, even when we may not know how, that they are. And so I give thanks for the faith of everyone in this room, and I give thanks for the giving nature of each one of us. And I know that the giver and the given are the same and are blessed. And so together we say, and so it is, amen.
Well, thank you to Scott and Judy Jameson and Reverend Bonnie for a very beautiful service. Thank you. We really appreciate your gifts and talents. So now, would you please join me as we say our unity statement together? Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is one power, one presence, and one life. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey of transformation, you are welcome here. We're very happy to have you. If you are here for the first time, we have a welcome packet with a coupon in it and some other goodies. So, you get a free drink at our barista stand, although I have to tell you, you'll have to come back next week if you're first time, because the barista stand is not operational today after the service. So I apologize for that. So if you're first, make sure you come next week. That's another way to get you here. You know, we're always looking. All right. So would you raise your hand if you are a first-time person? All right, thank you. Come next week, you'll get a drink. We're glad you're here, and we hope you'll stay and join us afterwards. We encourage everyone to sign up for our email newsletter to learn more about what's going on at the center, classes, all kinds of things that are going on. It's very active here. So scan the QR code or look on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. Just search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane to find us. Our chaplains today are Al, who has been holding the service in prayer, and Diane, who will be available to pray with you afterwards. If you have something heavy on your heart or a joy that you would like to share, please, Diane will be here afterwards. And we thank our chaplains for all the work that they're doing here. Unity is based on prayer. That was the founding principle for unity. Now it's time for news you can use from Gay Kruger-Ribble.
That's me.
Hi, everyone. So a whole bunch of things are going on here. I wanted to make mention to the absolutely spectacular wildlife photos that are in the store right now from Courtney. I hope that you take some time to see them. They are brilliant. She's so talented. And also, this is a special public service announcement from your Abundance team. Miracles go on all the time, and our miracles are going to continue here at the center. The feathers that we have that are right outside the door in those little baskets have blank on the back, and they're available for you to put your miracles, your random acts of kindness, your synchronicities, because this is a way to celebrate them. And then what I do is I put them back over there on the wings that are there, which, as you can see, are growing considerably. The other thing that I suggest is take a picture in front of it. Allow those wings to kind of envelop you and post it on social media so people can see that this is a place of miracles. Also, we are continuing with the midday meditations. Oh, I'm supposed to be clicking. There we go. The midday meditations, which are on Tuesday at noon with Reverend Bonnie, and that's by Love Offering. And we are also continuing with Wake Up World. That's Monday nights in the chapel. And next week is Mother's Day.
And we will have our annual Mother's Day flower sale, and that's being put on by our youth, and it's going to benefit our youth going to camps this summer. The other thing that I wanted to mention, because it's coming up, is an event called Brush on the Bluff, which is actually in South Hill. We're going to have a booth there, and we're looking for people to greet people in our booth for that day. Representing Unity, we'll have an art activity. It's going to be super fun. Please talk to Deanna about it, and that's your news you can use.
Thank you, Gay. All right, it's time for our kids. And hopefully they're here, and we will sing them in by singing "We Are Walking in the Light." Wow, welcome. How are you? Oh, there, one just got away. We're so happy you're here today. I hope you had a great time back in Children's Church. We want to thank you for being here, kids. We want to thank our adults who work with our children. It's a great service to this ministry, and we love you for it. So, guess what? First Sunday. Who's born in May? Who's got a birthday in May? Please stand so we can sing happy birthday to you. All right. All right, are we ready? We've got our old song back again. I love this song. All right, ready? Here we go. Happy birthday. I forgot the intro. Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. You blow out the candles, one light stays aglow. It's the love light in your eyes wherever you go. Happy birthday. All right. So, together, let's bless the children and then ourselves. Be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share your joy of life with people far and near. And for ourselves, be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share our joy of life with people far and near. All right, children, you can join the people that brought you. All right. And now, please stand if you are able. Join together for our prayer of protection, followed by the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The power of God protects us. God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth.